Welcome in, everybody. Happy New Year. Man, what a way to end the year. Fraud is fraud. YouTuber goes viral after investigation Minnesota fraud allegations. More and more fraud is happening on this New Year's Eve. Come on in, everybody. Let's talk about the situation. Who is this Nick Shirley? Who is Nick Shirley? Who is Nick Shirley? Is he the next Mr. Beast? Amazing, this young man. What is he, 22-year-old? 23 years old? 23-year-old independent YouTube journalism. Let's talk about what is happening. Kai Rock #1. Come on in and Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's Eve and New Year's upon us. Where did this year go? We will look at the viral video of this young man, the Godfather greetings, of the fraud is fraud. YouTuber goes viral, and he's already on X communicating with Donald Trump, and there's death threats. This guy, the next Charlie Kirk. Well, he's not that Charlie Kirk. No, I can tell you who he is. His name is Nick Shirley. I highly recommend anybody go and subscribe to his channel. We're going to watch his viral video in a little bit. We'll let the YouTube algorithm do its stuff. Welcome in, and we talked about this last night. And thank you so much for the video live last night. Over 108,000. Broke our record on likes, 200 and some. Thank you so much for those. Doing a lot of late videos lately because of my jobs wrapped around and coming home late. But thank you so much for being here. We will talk for the next hour or so. Fraud is fraud. YouTuber goes viral after investigation, Minnesota fraud allegation. Breaking news, and Happy New Year. We're going to follow this again on this live. Hope everybody's doing well and celebrating and enjoying your New Year's Eve. So, salute. This is crazy. This young man is getting death threats. He's already tweeted to Donald Trump and Cash Patel. He goes, I didn't do anything. He goes, I just went over to Minnesota and asked him the facts. And he's bring everybody up to date. I'm going to give you some numbers, then we're going to listen into Fox News. So there's been 22 Somalians healthcare centers. And what's happening is, hello, Crystal, Happy New Year, my friend. What's happening is, by the way, thank you for being here. Record-breaking likes last night. Greatly appreciate it. Got to go late. My job's right. Doing late lives and broke a record, 272 likes. So thank you so much for everybody attending that live and today. Appreciate it. We are early, celebrating Happy New Year's. Here's the deal. Trump has frozen the child care temporary payments in Minnesota. Let me just be clear. These are allegations, and for YouTube, allegedly. Tim Walsh, right now, I should do a poll. Let me see if I can do a poll. I haven't done a poll in a while. I don't know if I can do a poll or not. Let's see here, real quick. Let me see if I can start a poll. Sorry, guys. I haven't done the poll, and they changed all this crap. 1 second here. I screwed up here. All right. Unsuccessful on the poll. Now I don't want that. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Let me just get rid of that. All right, the poll's not working. All right, so we're gonna listen in. Here. This is a young man. His video is viral. I think it's the second largest YouTube viral than Mr. Beast. It's getting a lot of attention, so I think we should talk about it. And not only because of that. What the hell's going on in a lot of states? And I have a feeling that this young man's going to take it to California next and discover the fraud with Gavin Newsom. He's probably going to go to Chicago. He might even come here to Vegas. Right off the bat, we got a super chat, $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. That goes to the homeless, and his comment says Trump sucks. Now, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but just be respectful on here. We appreciate the donation, though. We'll forward that over to the homeless, because that's what we do on here. By the way, we had a video ourselves go viral on YouTube, plenty of shorts, and even on New Year's Eve, Miss Maribel says, whoa, what are you doing? So we're going to celebrate, not without helping the homeless people. So we're out there helping the homeless people real quickly. Now, we're going to listen into Fox News, bring everybody up to date. Minnesota is on this New Year's Eve. This young man is going viral, Nick Shirley. And he's a Mormon. And here's the deal with this young man. There's nothing they can do. He's young. He's a virgin. He said it. He says, I've done anything wrong because I'm not perfect. He goes, I've never been suspended in school. So he goes, let him come after me. And this poor kid, his family is getting death threats. He's not doing anything wrong. He's going to Minnesota, knock, knock on the door. And guess what? There's no kids. It's an empty daycare. Some places had 2 kids, 3 kids. The money that they're making, they should have multiple kids. This has been going on, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you coming in. Has been going on since COVID. Let me read some numbers. So Nick Shirley, a 23-year-old independent YouTube journalist, right? Independent, right? And that's where we're heading. Because news is just news and they're scared, right? So 90 individuals have been charged since 2022. 250 million at M in federal COVID-19 relief funds that have been going to these states and have been going into the pockets, allegedly, Tim Walz, Omar, Ilan Omar, whatever her name is, and that is what we're cracking down. So this young YouTuber says, look, I enjoy doing YouTube. I'm just doing what other news outlets are not reporting. He says, so I want to investigate what the hell's going on. He's a Trump supporter, but he's an American, he's one of us. So we're going to listen into Fox News real quick, and then we're going to talk. And then we're going to watch his video.
Is cutting off all federal child care payments to Minnesota. This in response to allegations of sweeping fraud. And the White House says there will be consequences.
There you go.
This is a top priority for the administration. The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 81 in the chat, 82 in the chat. Do you think Tim Walz, yes or no, will be arrested and go to prison? And farther up with that, do you think Ilan Omar also will be arrested on this? What's your thoughts? Yes or no? Yes or no?
many years.
Well, a YouTuber who
All right, I want you guys to take a look at this young man. So this young man here, okay, Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley, okay? He is an independent YouTuber. This video went viral. And he's investigating the Minnesota fraud that we all know about. And he's been knocking on doors. We're going to listen in a little bit.
Viral video on the scandal was seen squaring off with protesters outside of a daycare center. We have Garrett Tenney. He has more on all of this from Chicago. Good morning, Garrett.
Molly, good morning to you. This is a big move by HHS. It adds to the several other federal agencies that have already paused funding for Minnesota over those concerns of fraud. So now the $185 million a year that HHS provides the state for childcare is on hold. And starting immediately, the agency says the rubber stamping of payments through its administration for children and families is over. Every payment will now require a justification and a receipt or photo evidence before a state can receive that funding. The ACF Assistant Secretary says the pause on funding is necessary until we know how rampant the fraud in the childcare space really is.
Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
HHS is also setting up a nationwide hotline for folks to report suspected fraud in the child care space wherever they are.
Whoa!
And the agency is also demanding Minnesota Governor Tim Walz turn over detailed records on the daycare centers highlighted in Nick Shirley's viral video. Yesterday, the YouTuber was back outside the Quality Learning Center where he was confronted by a small group that was not happy about what he's doing there.
You're not going to believe this. This was all day yesterday. Hundreds of cars lined up along Cedar Avenue. honking, screaming, swearing, threatening us.
It's crazy what's happening here in Minnesota. People work way too hard for billions of dollars, whether it's a Republican doing the fraud or a Democrat doing the fraud. Fraud is fraud.
Fraud is fraud.
Each and every single person accountable for it.
And you'll remember the sign of the Quality Learning Center that had misspelled learning a few days ago? Well, that sign is now fixed. As federal officials say, hundreds of investigators from the FBI, DHS, and ICE are now digging into all of the fraud schemes that have allegedly been taking place in Minnesota now for years. Molly?
Yeah, a lot of questions to come. Systemic issues at hand. I wonder who paid to fix the sign. Garrett, thank you very much. Garrett Tenney, we appreciate it. Mike?
Molly, let's bring in Hugh Hewitt, Fox News contributor. Hugh, good morning.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Appreciate you guys. Hey, Happy New Year to everybody, and God bless. I hope you're enjoying your New Year's Eve. Be safe if you're going out. Have fun. I'm Sal. Welcome in. Like and subscribe. You know, first of all, Trump should hire this young man. He's doing the job that, again, like the homeless guy, finding... We are the people investigating. Now, again, allegedly. But these are investigations. I think he'll probably end up going to California next. And I think he's going to have a follower. I think more YouTubers, independent journalists, they're going to get out there to Chicago, these Democrat states. We know what's going on in California with the Pal State fires, fraud, homeless, which we do here, by the way. There was no fraud on this channel. I said this last night, right, Mike? We go and give out the food. There's no fraud. Fraud is fraud. $5,000 fraud or $200 fraud. You know, if you have fraud in your taxes, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year's, Fabian. We will go to jail. This is wrong. It should be wrong in a Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter. Now, again, we talked about this last night. The Somalians, I don't think they put it together. But in my opinion, some of them, they should be held responsible and sent back. Now, so far, what I know is he's already went on X and he's tweeted and he contacted President Trump and Casper 12. He is Nick Shirley. And he says, look, I'm not looking for any kind of exposure. I'm a 23-year-old. I'm a virgin. Okay? And he said this live on a podcast today earlier. And he says, look, they can't get me for nothing. But he's getting death threats, his family, his sister, because he's exposing. Now, these are all allegedly and allegations. And I think a lot of states are doing this, but this is not anything new. This is something that's been going on since COVID. A lot of states are doing it. But now Tim Walz, again, he's innocent before proven guilty. But you see his face, his expression on his face. He's scared. Now, I've said this last night. Either he was stupid or he was in on it. Either way, he's got to go. When I say go, if he's stupid and didn't know about it, then he needs to step down. He should definitely, if he tries to run for governor, that will come back and haunt him. Now, if he's in on it, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Republican. I don't care if it's then they need to be investigated and held responsible. And I'm telling you, heard it here live. A lot of people are going to disagree. There's going to be some people going to jail. And here's the deal. Will Ilhan Omar just blame Tim Walz? Will she just throw everything on him so she can stay in Minnesota as a congresswoman or as a citizen? Remember, she's from Somalia. What's your thoughts? Or will Tim Walz throw everything at Ilhan Omar, or will they just, stay together? I don't think they're going to stick together. My opinion, I think Miss Ilhan Omar is going to throw everything she could at Tim Walz. Whoa, it happened during COVID. I have nothing to do with it just because of... That's what I think. Now, this young man, viral video, he's number 2 right now behind Mr. Beast. More than that, this man should be working. He should be working for Trump. Now, he's reached out to Trump. I haven't heard if Trump got back, but we know Trump has frozen temporary the child care assistance, the funding from COVID. And I talked about this last night. A lot of that stuff was happening during COVID. But now it's all coming out. And Kash Patel, now let me just read some numbers. So far, 22 Somalia's healthcare centers, there's been 250 million in federal COVID relief fund. 22 have been arrested. Excuse me. So sorry, stand corrected. 90 individuals have been charged since 2022 on this situation, collecting taxpayer funds, widespread organization. And here we are on New Year's Eve, and this is breaking. And this young man says, no, I am fighting for Minnesota. I'm fighting for taxpayers like most of us. If you live in Minnesota and you're on this live, come on and let us know what you're hearing, what you're seeing in Minneapolis. Let's go on and listen a little bit more to the investigation. Then we're going to show the viral video of him going to some of these child care centers.
Hey, Mike, good morning.
I'd like to start with a clip from Tricia McLaughlin from Homeland Security, and then I'll get your take on this scandal.
Our Homeland Security.
I'm hungry, Crystal.
Hundreds are on the ground. They're knocking doors. They're going to local businesses. They're going to these sites where we believe that there is rampant fraud. Our Homeland Security investigators on the ground are also seeing that these suspected perpetrators are really trying to cover their tracks. They're trying to whitewash the operational facts on the ground, purporting to be a legitimate business, have legitimate business operations, when it's all a fugazi.
What's your assessment at this point, Hugh?
Well, Mike, it is sort of like octopuses wrestling. It began in 2021. It picked up a lot of speed late last year when 78 people were indicted, 52 were convicted. Scott Johnson over at Powerline has been covering this for a few years, but now it's ramped up even more because of the Nick Shirley YouTube video and Director Patel of the FBI surging these resources as well as DHS into Minnesota. It is alleged by First Assistant United States Attorney Joe Thompson, who's a career federal prosecutor, that of the $18 billion that flowed into Minnesota over the past 7 years, more than half is probably gone into fraud. So $9 billion is missing. So that will require an extraordinary forensic accounting and a great deal of investigation into finding out where it went. But I think we're going to find it's centered in the Somali community of about 80,000 people in Minnesota. Half of them are American citizens. Most of them are naturalized American citizens of the remainder. So it's going to go on for years, but the political fallout is hitting Tim Walz very heavily as demands for his resignation grow and his re-election campaign is in danger.
Your home might be worth a lot more now.
We got to pay some bills here.
Up, you can't take advantage of it now. And that's the tough part. Your equity is there.
I am going to...
You don't want to sell.
Welcome and Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to go to Mr. Nick Shirley, a 23-year-old video where he's driving around. As far as Tim Walz go, I think he's in some trouble. That's up to you guys to decide in the chat. Do you think...
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this.
He'll be impeached, or I think Mike says impeached, where you go to jail. Let's see what we got. Is this...
We're in the middle of a strip mall here.
All right, here, this is 2 hours ago. Let's watch this clip.
Then we head over to the...
Let's watch this clip.
Then we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside.
I encourage everybody to subscribe
multicultural
to this young man.
Home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Health Care Aid Inc. and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Health Care. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud. Okay, that's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you.
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me. Okay, don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay.
Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to?
I gotta tell you, this kid's got balls.
As soon as you confront about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home health,
Ladies and gentlemen, this young man's got balls. But unfortunately, let's pray and hope that they don't go after they. I'll just use the word they. We don't know. I hope we don't have a situation where we have like another Charlie Kirk. Look, somebody said earlier about Fox News, CNN News. They're all full of shit. What we have, and I've said this before, like and subscribe. The future is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's the people reporting and getting in and open it up the truth if these allegations are true. That's what it's coming to. Because for me, Fox, CNN, CNBC, all the other shit, they don't want to dive into this. They're scared. They're worried. And the producers and so much more we won't get into. So I give this kid a lot of credit. I don't like that he's getting death threats, but I'm not shocked by it. I'm sure he has great security. Bring everybody up to date. Trump has frozen the child care payments temporary till they figure out what the hell's going on over there. If this is true, it's a shame because there's people out there, are paying for their kids lots of money each year to have their children in daycare. And they're paying all this money, and these places of operation, some of them, first of all, some don't even exist, and those who do exist, like 2 or 3 children in there. This is a big investigation. It's been going on for a while, and I'm happy to see that a YouTuber, independent journalist goes into this area and knocks around, and most of them don't have anybody there. Some of them you've seen there, the sign didn't even make sense, and they're closed. So there's definitely something going on. Happy New Year, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming in. God bless everybody. My phone is blowing up from representatives here. I'm trying to read their messages and everybody else. I'm trying to find the video where they're actually driving around. It's pretty cool. 1.99 million fraudulent. Wow. Crazy. Let's see. Was this the one? No, it's not the one here. We got here. This was 3 days ago. That's not the one.
Then we headed over to the next building
Crystal, thank you so much. A New Year gift for whatever you would like to do with Crystal. Thank you so much. You know what I'll do? I'll forward that right over to the homeless people. Or I'll get one more. I'll tell you what I'll do, Crystal. First of all, Happy New Year, Crystal. Thank you so much for today's support and sponsoring and everything you do on our channel and other channels. You are a true big heart, and we appreciate all your support so a lot of people can continue their lives and in this channel able to forward this to the homeless. So shout out to Crystal Richmond, our loyal subscriber, and sponsoring many vehicles, many lives, and helping out the homeless when she's able to do and when we're able to do it. So thank you so much, Crystal and Isabel and your family and each and every one of you who donated last night. Again, we had a record-breaking 272 likes, and that's for this channel. That was pretty big and amazing. I could never do it without any of you. But again, this is sad. It breaks my heart because, it's fraud going on in a lot of states, and not just Democrat states, Republicans too. Because I was part of unemployment, and that's where I got my YouTube started, with the unemployment fraud. That was butchered by a Democrat governor at the time, and we still got it unorganized with a Republican governor. And I like it when you have a YouTuber who's independent, a journalist who's able to go and do this. Now, of course, a lot of people are going to say, I'll beat you to it. Well, he's doing it for the views. Well, sure, he's working. He's working. You got to work, and he's working, and he's successful, and that's what he's doing. And he's exposing these allegations, and there's been some arrests. Now, whether Tim Walz will be impeached, that's up to you guys. Whether, I got to tell you this, if he knew about it, there's no doubt in my mind that he'll face charges and he'll go to jail. He'll go to prison. And I'll even go farther. Ayan Omar, she'll probably be sent back. These are serious, serious allegations. And again, if you're just coming in live, it's not going to be finished. It's going to go on through 26. They're going to go to California. They're going to go to Chicago. I believe probably go to New York next. They're going to go to New York and investigate what the hell's going on in New York. And I think if they're smart, if anybody out there is doing some of these crimes, I'm sure right now they're going to be up all night long, not drinking champagne, not feeling good. Or they're going to be feeling stress. And they're going to go on their computer and they're going to try to, make things kind of work out. But they're running out of time. Whether it's healthcare, childcare, unemployment, self-employment, PUA, back in it, whatever it might be, if the state's getting funding and you're the governor and you're the mayor or the chief of police and you're not involved, you still are liable. You got to take control of your state and your city. It's simply wrong. If any of us, and thank you for the donations that are coming in. Once again, shout out to Crystal for all her hard work. If we done anything on our taxes, like big stuff, everybody hides a little bit, this and that, whatever. I'm talking big stuff. We would be arrested and go to jail. So once again, shout out to this YouTuber. Somalia healthcare building scam. That's what this is. Somalia healthcare plan scam. And not all of them are doing it. Let's be honest, let's be fair. But a lot of them are. There's some that are, here, hardworking, that have nothing to do with this, to be fair, right? But there's a lot of them that are. And I don't think they're the ones, and I talked about this last night, I don't think they're the ones who kind of like implemented it and organized it. I don't. But they need to be sent back. But it was organized by who? Who organized it? Who did it? Who's the governor? Who's the congresswoman? Who's the chief of police? Who's the investigation? Who's the mayor? Those. Look at them and see what the hell's going on. Why does it take a YouTuber, independent, to go and research this? And by the way, yes, I'm a Trump supporter. Why wasn't Kash Patel or Pam Bondi on this? Now think about it. Let's be honest. So it upsets me on both sides. Once again, it's up to the with all our cameras and our phones, we got to go ahead and expose this, and then we got to get the threats. So yes, I like this young man. I really do. I like the fact that he's out there and he's exposing it, and he cares. 23-year-old. Imagine. Think about when you were 23 years old. I wouldn't even know what the hell to do at 20. Yeah. Well, we didn't have cameras, but this is amazing, man. And I highly recommend everybody to subscribe to him and watch his channel and his YouTube, because he's not just working with, he tries to go out and catch all what's happening. And he'll listen, sort of like Charlie Kirk, and investigate. He's not perfect, but who is? But he has, as this morning, already reached out to Donald Trump. Now, I haven't heard if Trump or Kash Patel have responded, but what they have responded on is they made more arrests, but I haven't responded to him directly. We'll see how this unfolds. We really will. I'm going to read some comments. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope everybody is blessed and has an incredible New Year's Eve and a fantastic 2026. Always be positive. Enjoy yourself and your family, most part. And take one day at a time. Always be productive and work hard, and you'll accomplish good things. And hope that we can do better on both sides and investigate and put the bad guys and bad women behind bars if these allegations are true. We'll have to sit back and see how this all unfolds. I wanted to see this one video, and I had it on there and I lost it. Let me see. I'm going to give it one more shot. Let's see here. Nick Shirley in Minneapolis. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I might have found it. No, that's not it. Is that it there? Oh, here it is. I found it. Listen to this. This is pretty wild. Listen up.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the...
If you want to subscribe to his channel, at Nick Shirley, Shirey, smart young man.
Same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
In 2020, one of them received 1.3 million. In 2021, they got 987,000. In 2022, they got 714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, 1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about 800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year, and there are no children. Every facility you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in. And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell?
All right, now real quick on fairness, guys. I like to look at the whole picture. On fairness, these doors are meant to be locked. On fairness, okay. I like to look at the big picture because of children. They're locked, you know, and we all had kids in daycare for those who have kids, right? And they're locked. But when they do answer the door, first of all, why aren't they answering the door? Shouldn't there be like a ring or, like, you know, when I used to go to daycare, it would show a photo. Okay, Mr. C, who you here for? I'm here for such and such, right? You don't see any of that. A. B, okay, the windows are tinted because of security for kids. We get it. But C, why aren't they at least acknowledging the knock knock or the ring? And 4, when they do open, those who do, we're closed. During the time of like 11 a.m., 1 in the afternoon, when the kids are supposed to be in the daycare. There's no kids. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no kids. A majority of them, not all of them. And that's the problem. And I'm telling you right now, that's what's the FBI and Cash Patel is going to be looking at, and they're going to be investigated. And I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people think Tim Walz will not be in trouble. I'm telling you, in my opinion, he's going to be in some trouble. He really, really is. But I also hope that Trump acknowledges young man. I hope he responds to his tweet and says, thank you. We appreciate you, young man. Good job. Now, let us do our job. Be safe. Protect your family. You know, I hope that Donald Trump does the right thing. I think he will. You guys think he will? Think Trump will get and respond to Nick Shirley? I hope so. All right, I'm going to pull out some comments. Once again, Happy New Year to everybody. What we got over here? Shout out to Texas. What's going on in Texas tonight? Happy New Year. I'm drinking a little bit of a drink here. Salute. Now, also, too, on other news, there's been some bomb threats in some states. And forgive me what state, but there have been some bomb threats. And remember, refresh everybody's memory, last year in Las Vegas, we had a Tesla go into the Trump Plaza, and thank God that there was nobody seriously hurt. And then remember, I think it was New Orleans. So it's a world we live in. I don't want to make everybody paranoid. Go out, have fun, and live your life. But, you know, these crazy people on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, they tend to do these domestic terrorism. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's real, you know, and that's why people are kind of scared to go out, you know. But I say live your life. And hopefully that we have, I'm sure that each state, Democrats, Republicans, do the right thing and protect and have high security and the police forces out there. Every, last year, a couple years, you always have these threats and, craziness in this world. Nick Shirley exposed $5 million in daycare fraud, allegedly. Investigates Minnesota. Amazing, this young man. I hope we don't have a situation where they try to hurt this young man. I really don't. I hope they don't. Let's pray for this guy. He's just out there exposing the truth, knocking on the doors. Now, he reminds me because he doesn't care. He's out there risking, again, I'm sure he has great security. But I worry not just because he's young. I worry for any of us or anybody who goes out and exposes the truth and investigates crime, fraud, particularly when you're going against a governor, Tim Walz. And I said this last night. This is only my opinion, and you guys can call me out. My opinion. I think Kamala Harris was choosing Tim Walz because they knew about it back through COVID. You heard him say it. And I think she was hoping that he would be vice president and they would kind of like bury this somehow. See, they didn't think Donald Trump would win. And I think, because, there was other candidates that she could have took. Josh Shapiro, Cooper from Arizona. There were two that I thought she'd go after. I don't think she still would have won the election, of course. But why did she pick this Mangaluk in Italian for YouTube? Unorganized. I mean, I never liked some of the stuff I read on this guy anyhow. I think he's in trouble. One way or another, he was stupid or in on it. And I think he'll either be impeached. If he runs reelect for governor, I think it'll end up hurting him. I think he's better off not to run for his sake. And then they'll take it from there. I think you're going to see more YouTubers or just people in general and keeping their phone, their camera. And I think they're going to have to be careful. Sure, right? And I think that's going to be our new news. I said this earlier. Forget about CNN. I think they're really on their way out. I remember one time CNN was, news channel outlet. And I got to tell you, yes, I'm watching Fox and I watch Fox. They've been unorganized as well. Let's be honest, Mega. They haven't been correct, and they haven't had the stories break in, and they're even a little late onto the table sometimes on breaking news. So I've called them out. So I put whatever's on, and I think I think you're going to start seeing people, YouTubers. And if you're young or you're starting a YouTube, I highly recommend going into that kind of stuff and crime and get your information and be safe and go for it, because I think more people now are relying on us. On our investigation and doing the research, what we can do and expose it. But again, it comes with a cost sometimes, and it can potentially cause your life or your family, and that's what's sad. Because I heard him this morning on a great podcast, and you can hear that he had some fear. He's 23 years old. He had fear. They were threatening his little sister. I believe it was his little sister, maybe his older sister. It doesn't matter, a sister, and it's his family. And that draws the line, So we'll have to see if he continues to pursue it. I don't think he's going to stop, Nick Shirley. And I don't think Kash Patel and Donald Trump, I think it woke them up. And maybe it didn't wake them up. Maybe Trump, maybe Kash Patel, maybe Pam Bondi, maybe they were already on. We don't know. They're not going to tell us everything. Maybe they've been on it already. I'm sure that's what they're going to say. Or maybe they didn't know all this. They got their hands tied. What's going on right now on Ukraine, trying to start new nukes. Oh, yeah, that's happening. And, of course, in Venezuela with poison coming over and, keeping our borders closed and this and that. So, maybe he didn't know. I mean, they know that something was going on, but I don't think, in my opinion, that they knew it was this bad. This is crazy. $250 million in federal COVID-19 relief fund. Holy crap. A lot of fraud. you guys remember the SBA loans? And I've talked about this a lot. How many people on here, hey, Ozzy, Happy New Year. How many people who had small businesses actually got an SBA loan? I got one, but my wife didn't. And her business is much bigger than mine. My daughter got it. Neighbor did not. So that was all butchered and unorganized. Unemployment, PUA. So this doesn't surprise me. When it comes to these politicians on both sides, they get corrupted. But it's one thing being corrupted, one thing being unorganized, but this is our Minnesota taxpayer money. People paying. And a lot of them are not even a child daycare center. It's a racketeer. And they thought they'd get away with it. And now they're like, whoa, who's this guy? Who's this kid? Who the hell is this 23-year-old YouTuber? He's in over here in Minnesota? Whoa, he's knocking on doors. This kid's got balls. So I'm telling you right now, New York and California, Chicago, there's no New Year's Eve for them tonight. They got their AI and their IT, all their people, taking out all that information in the computer and trying to make it look simple. Well, they're running out of time because this guy's moving. There's going to be a lot of investigation. Lots. This is only the beginning. All right, once again, Happy New Year to everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for all your attendance. Once again, I appreciate all new subscribers we picked up last night, over 125. Thank you so much. Once again, if you're new to the channel, we help out the homeless. There's no fraud here. You know, you see my shorts, 100%, unless it's somebody like our little subscriber moderator like Crystal, who says, go ahead and do what you want with it, and we'll go ahead and get most of that too and get a cigar. No fraud here, but there's fraud in Minnesota. There's fraud in California. There's fraud in New York. There's fraud in Republican states as well. Let's be honest. And it has to stop. I hope everybody's going to enjoy themselves tonight. Have a good meal. Have a few drinks if you can drink. Enjoy your family. Have fun. If you go out, be safe. Don't be paranoid. But at the same time, you're looking around because remember last year in New Orleans, people were celebrating and some people lost their life. And here in Vegas, that Tesla, you know, domestic terrorism, it happens. People like to take these opportunities, you know, on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Thank God there was nothing crazy in Christmas. And let's hope and pray that nothing develops on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or the rest of the year. I'm sick of it. I'm going to pull some comments out here. All right. I very seldom do this, but I get... When I see comments that are repeated 2, 3, 4, 5 times, forget about it. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Joshua. How are you? Appreciate, thank you, moderators, for being here and helping out. Mike, shout out to Mike. And appreciate each and every day that we're live. Mike, Crystal, I think I seen on here. If I missed any of the moderators, we had Richard on here last night. We know Lemon J, Janine, all the moderators, Fabian. And I really appreciate taking your time to be part of this and to got to have some rules and moderate. It's not on notice. Appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, and the mini moderator, absolutely. And the older moderator, Isabel, the youngest one, Aaron, who are behind the scenes you don't see on the chat for security reasons, but we shout out to each and every one of you. We really, really appreciate it. When I say we, each and every one of you is on here, whether we have 86, 36, or like last night, 500, I greatly appreciate it. I'm doing well, Josh. Thank you for being here. Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing investigation and story. And I don't think we've seen the last of this young man. Certainly we haven't seen, I'm sure Donald Trump and Kash Patel are going to be, they already froze the funding for temporary. So Chester, how are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year, my friend. Good to see you. How do I feel about the files, Epstein files you were alluding to? What I say about it is the Democrats had a chance to do it. They had, what, 4 years, other administrations. Trump has exposed it. Has it been perfect? Has Pam Bondi butchered it? I've talked about this many times. Will you going to see the names you think? Probably not. Is there some cover-up? Absolutely. Is it Donald Trump? Absolutely not. Is it Bill Clinton? I don't think so. Trump's already defended Clinton. I don't think there's anybody that, any living president. We talked about this many times, certainly a lot last night. What we got here? Nick Shirley is a guy. Yeah, he really is. You know, he was on a podcast today. I was listening to it this morning. Very intelligent, very smart, very quick with words. But he did hesitate about security, or you can hear, actually, you can hear that he was scared in his voice. Well, he's 23 years old, you know, and for his family. And, you know, props to this guy. Props. That he's taken his time. You know, he was a football star in high school. A little bit about this Nick Shirley. Very smart. Did not go to college. Kind of reminds you of Charlie Kirk, right? And just wanted to start a YouTube channel. And like a lot of YouTube channels, you know, you get on, you know what the hell's going on. And he just continued to work at it, because anybody can do anything you want. Most things if you work. And he continued to work, and he wanted to do crime and investigation. And here we go. And that's what this young man has done. And his video went viral. This video that we just watched was the second one behind Mr. Beast. So it's amazing what hard work can do, and hard work on investigation and pulling out the bad guys. So Happy New Year. Frank, Happy New Year. Hello. Good to see everybody. Good to see all my loyal subscribers. Nice to see some new subscribers. Great to see some moderators on here. We are going to be looking for another moderator. I know Uncle Charlie asked about it, but it's just on a review. YouTube has certain criteria because, you know, some YouTubers are busy. And, you know, our channel continue to grow. Some YouTubers have started their great channels, and that's great. So we might be looking for another moderator in the next couple of days or weeks. Thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've done the whole year. Hey, appreciate each and every one of you on a great, successful year. All of us, you know, a great, fun community here. You hear a lot of YouTubers say that, and I love that because that means they have a great channel, and they're very high and successful, and it's all because you guys. And we'll continue to work. We got bigger things coming in 26 on helping the homeless. Maribel wants to take it a whole nother level. I want to take it a whole nother level. We want to still continue to try to get a nonprofit here in Las Vegas, and I like to do that sooner than later. And we're going to be doing more and more, bigger and bigger, wider. We might even go to other states. Might head to our neighbor states in Arizona and California. So we'll be doing much, much more. If you're new to the channel, we got plenty of shorts on helping out the less fortunate. And speaking of that, it doesn't just have to be people homeless. You hear me say this multiple times. Check up on your neighbors. Check up on people that are having rough times. You know, you'd be surprised. They just want a conversation or something like that. Now, on another subject, we got great football games on. We got one game on tonight, one more game. Great games tomorrow. Be safe, everybody. Enjoy. Eat something you enjoy. Don't be afraid to treat yourself and have fun and have a cocktail. But most importantly, enjoy your family. All right, I'll pull out some comments here. All right. Yep, Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for attending this live. We appreciate it. Can you believe it's New Year's Eve? Wow, the year. You hear this from a lot of people. How the hell did the year? It's almost like last year. You know, I remember being on the strip and covering that tragedy with the Tesla. The year just goes by. You know, Trump hasn't even been president for 1 year, but this whole year flew by. Just, you know, it goes quick, guys. Oliver, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year. I can hear some fireworks. People are starting early here in Las Vegas. Yeah, it sure does, Ozzy. It sure does. Trump won. Get over it. Absolutely. You know, he is the president. We got 3 more years. Thank goodness. Thank God. Actually, thank God, not thank goodness, that we have a president. If he had a report card, I'd give him a nice fat A. I mean, he's not perfect, but a lot of good things. And you know what? We're going to have great tax breaks coming up next year. People are going to be making more money on their tax breaks. We got no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. Seniors, there's going to be good dividends on that. He's working on a new health care, a savings plan we talked about. People having kids, start having babies. It's going to be big tax breaks. And also, $2,000, a lot of us on here are going to be receiving. We're going to get it. It might be might be in the summer, it might be in the fall, it might be sooner. So lots of money is going to help the American people, not overseas, Ukraine, and other countries. Yeah, 7 years left. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I talked about this last night briefly. I think the Democrats, I've talked about it a lot. I think the Democrats, and this here, Tim Walz, if he, allegedly, guys, if he's found guilty, regardless, even if he was not involved in the sense of doing this, it hurts. It'll hurt even if it doesn't, they're done. They're done because, again, we talked about this last night. They just don't try. There's nothing they do to help out. They complain about tariffs, but they don't have any solution. They complain about healthcare. They don't do anything on that. So Mike says Walz is guilty. Do you think he's going to blow up Iran? No. He's not there to hurt the people. I think he said it. If they start putting nukes together in Iran, the question was, will he bomb Iran? No. He'll go ahead and take them out. Just like that. They won't even know it's coming. Even if they know it's coming, they won't stop it. But no. I don't think so. Thank God we have Donald Trump, because any other sitting president on either side would just ignore that whole situation. We got here. Unfortunately, hello. Trump's got his hands full. You know, you can't let your guard down. You got to keep the border safe. We're stopping poison. We got the Iran situation. We got to keep our eye on China and Taiwan. You know, but that's what a president is elected to do. You know, keeping money here in the United States, having bills, a new bill, the big beautiful bill to give dividends and tax breaks to most Americans. You know, all that, and then he's got to investigate what's happening in Minnesota. I mean, all that's going on, and that's all going to be, and of course, the Epstein files in January. Yeah, I hear a lot of stop giving money to Israel. Excuse me. What I do with my... Oh. I don't know, Chris. Now I'm turning my head a little to the right because I'm waiting for the wife to come home, and then we're gonna go out and dance. No, we're not going anywhere. Well, my wife is, but not me. Tomorrow, she's gonna go driving to see her daughter. But we're gonna get something to eat. We're gonna prepare a little. She wants some crab legs, so we're gonna do a little Alaskan king crab legs and that kind of stuff. Would be fun to go out, though. I was talking to my wife earlier, you know, just because you get a little older doesn't mean you can't go out and dance a little bit or entertain. So I think next year, God willing, we'll go out. All right. Hey, once again, thank you so much for the 81 likes. Appreciate it. Yeah. But it is a little, nerve-wracking sometimes when you're going to big events, New Year's Eve. You just don't know what the hell's going to happen, You don't know what crazy person is going to walk in and, and do something crazy. I hear you, Billy. United States is not Israel. United States is the United States. And the United States always should be number one. Next question. Thank you, Cheese Grader 105. Appreciate your comment and your thought and your opinion. Appreciate you. Ozzy says be safe all. Yes. Absolutely be safe. Once again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head in and try to be a little bit better husband and get some of this food organized and cooked up. I just want to say once again, Happy New Year to you guys. We might have a surprise tonight if anybody's up. Or we're going to go to sleep early. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to have a little champagne toast, so we might go ahead and do a live later on. We'll see how I feel. Frank, thank you. Reading a couple more comments, and then we're going to sign off. Fireworks. So Vegas is planning on doing the fireworks. Actually, Mike, because you lived here, rain. Miss rain. No wind, no. So fireworks should be pretty cool. Vegas has good fireworks show. So, let's see. I'm spending tonight in a hotel. Good. Enjoy yourself. Everybody enjoy themselves. Do what you enjoy. Do what you... Common sense. We talked about this last night. Common sense. And do what you enjoy. Don't go under the influence and drive. We all know that. Common sense. If you stay home, enjoy it. Have fun. If you go out, use rideshare and have fun. What do I think about climate change? There is none. Weather changes periodically. Green Valley Ranch fireworks. Yeah, they do good. Green Valley does good, Mike. Absolutely. All the casinos do pretty good. I have to say, they do a good job on the Strip, and local casinos like Mike said, Green Valley Ranch does a great job. I did that one year, Mike. I went to Green Valley and had a room, and it was nice. So I can say I did that. It was pretty cool, and watched the fireworks. All right. All right, guys. Hey, once again, shout out to Crystal to help sponsor today's video and the other ones who participated. Thank you so much for a great year. Once again, we could have a surprise and go live later on this evening, maybe right before midnight. We'll see how I feel. And if you guys are up, if you're, I always say try to stay up, try to stay up and enjoy the New Year's Eve. But that's up to you guys. Have fun. Be safe. If I don't see you tonight, I will certainly see you at some point tomorrow. Lots of bowl games on. I know we have a lot of Bama. A lot of good games on. We got fireworks already starting prematurely at homes. Everybody's safe with the fireworks as well. Thank you so much. I will see everybody on the next live, whether it's later on tonight or tomorrow. Thank you for a great, amazing year on YouTube. It's been one hell of a year and some sad things, losing my mom. A lot of us have lost loved ones, but you know what? We continue to live through them. If anybody's experienced any of that or hardship, remember, tomorrow's another day. Take 1 hour at a time. Relax. Don't stop living. God bless each every one of you. Paul, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. I greatly appreciate it. It's not unnoticed. It really helps me and Maribel out with the likes and the views. Thank you. God bless. Make sure you support your other favorite YouTubes. And certainly check out Nick Shirley. That young man's doing a good job. I think he puts in a lot of good heart, a lot of hard work, and I wish him well and pray for him. I'm out of here. Happy New Year. God bless Donald Trump. God bless. I'm out. Bye-bye. Thank you.